He's sniffing my feet.
For the stream to catch up.
What?
I forgot my phone.
You want me to get it real quick?
Yeah, I think.
Since it's not starting yet. Oh.
Oh, there we go. Okay, it's up.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it just didn't.
I think maybe it waits until it is actually 6.
It was.
Oh.
It's 6:01 now. I don't know.
Oh.
It's on. I just got the notification that you're live on my phone.
All right.
You want to procrastinate a little bit? And
Yeah, we'll wait for
see
people
if anybody
to.
else joins.
Hi, Jen.
Oh.
She's on the chat. I saw it. Say hi.
Someone else said hello too.
Oh, hello. People coming on. Wait a little bit. Lydia says hi. She's probably going to be by my feet. Hopefully I don't trip on her. Oh.
So there's like a 30-second delay
Yeah.
on when like the stream is actually on there.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just waiting for people to get on here before we start.
Yeah, we'll give it a few minutes.
Yeah.
Somebody else wants to join.
Basically, we'll wait a little bit for some people to join, and then I'm just gonna start pulling costumes out of here. I only briefly looked at them before we started, but I'm mostly just gonna kind of pull things out and remember them as I'm pulling them out. Some of them I looked back there are pretty old, like high school old costumes, so it'll be kind of fun to reminisce about some of that, because I haven't looked at those in a while, so it'll be kind of fun. A lot of them came from my dad's attic not too recently. He moved, and I got a lot of them out, and I was like, oh wow, I haven't seen these costumes in a really long time, so this should be fun. Also, like, while we're waiting for people to log in and everything, apologize for this not happening last night like I originally wanted to. Apparently, I didn't know that YouTube has a policy where when you do your first live stream, you have to like wait a 24-hour period, and I guess it's just so that they can make sure your channel is like up to standards and the guidelines and you don't have any community strikes or whatever. But I didn't know that until I checked, we went to go schedule the live stream yesterday during the day. So I'm mostly mad at myself because I should have like scheduled the live stream just like earlier in the week. But I did not do that. So, yeah, basically, that's what I get for procrastinating. So, I guess just a lesson out there. Don't procrastinate. 'Cause that's what happens. But luckily, it was like a weekend and we weren't doing anything today. So I was like, well, I guess we'll just move it to tomorrow. So my nose is running. I think it's just from the allergies. Lydia, you gonna help? You gonna try? Don't you try climbing in there? Come here. No, no, I'm not gonna do that. Come here. You look sleepy.
She's got that look on her face like,
Put me down. Yeah. I don't want to be on camera right now. Only when I'm not allowed to be on camera do I want to be on camera.
Someone else.
Oh, hello. Some more people saying hi. But yeah, basically what we'll do is I'm just going to kind of go through my closet and like, if you guys have any questions for me or comments or whatever, you can let me know. Chris is behind the camera. I'll try to be paying attention to the chat because I can see it on the TV I have over here, but if I'm not paying attention, he can tell me, let me know anything you guys are saying, but this is fun. This is our first one. This goes pretty well. I have a couple ideas for some more that we might do closer to Halloween, but this is kind of a test run. So
It's also what we want to do for the party stream too.
oh yeah,
So.
yeah, and basically if you you know, if you follow all the things that I do for our Halloween parties and stuff, we do a live stream of our Halloween party on Patreon. So if you join on Patreon, you become a patron, you can be a part of that. It'll be fun. Yeah, I guess Chris could answer some of the questions if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He probably knows some of the answers, at least for some of the costumes that I did while we were together. But also, he's gonna kind of put up as I'm talking about the costumes. We've got pictures that at least as much of the pictures as I have of these costumes. Some of them that are really, really old don't have pictures, unfortunately. But he's gonna try to put up the pictures on screen so you can kind of see what the costume looked like completely. So if this wasn't live, I would just be like putting on the costumes, but we're not going to do that because it's live. But I have pictures of most of them, so
That would take way too long to put on every single costume and get it.
yeah. But I mean, if I was doing this as a regular video and like I had time to edit everything, then just by movie magic I could have the costume on. But
That would still be like a month's worth.
oh yeah, it would take a while to make that video. But and some of these costumes you guys have seen on my channel, like at least 2 of them. Lydia. Talking back.
You might have started.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started. It's been about 10 minutes, and I mean, people will probably trickle in, but so yeah, I guess we're gonna get started. If you, I mean, most of you guys I think already are subscribed to me, but if you're not, if you're watching or you're hanging out, or even if you're watching this after the live is over, welcome to my channel. I'm Jackie Arment. A lot of stuff I do is very Halloween-y, videos, DIYs, crafts kind of stuff, and some costuming, which is kind of why we're doing this. No. So yeah, if you like this and this is kind of your first entrance to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'm gonna be wiping my nose a lot. I got allergies today. And you know, I guess that's pretty much it. And if this live stream goes well, I've got some more ideas for some live streams. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start jumping into it. All right, so I'm just gonna start pulling out costumes and we'll just start talking about them. So, okay, so this first one, let's see. Okay, this is, oh right, okay, so this is the witch that I did a long time ago. This is not even the oldest costume in here. This is mostly the skirt. There is a corset that went with it that is in here, and it's attached to another costume. So I'll show you that when it gets to it, because a lot of these costumes, a lot of the things I made for them or bought or whatever were versatile and got used for a lot of different stuff. So especially like corsets and things get interchanged. But basically this was the skirt, the outfit I had, which yeah, here, Chris has right here. It has like a corset. I had like a fishnet underneath. I had this skirt, which I think I bought the black skirt at the thrift store. And then the hat, which I made, I bought black burlap to make the hat, and this, I used the rest of the black burlap and just kind of crudely sewed a bunch of scraps to this already black skirt, so it looked very raggedy. If we can back up. There we go. And then I had like this like kind of tulle skirt over that kind of went over the top, and just kind of added more layers. And it was just some layering. The hat I made, it's hanging up somewhere in the other room, but I made that, I like dipped the whole hat in like a mixture of water and Elmer's glue, and then stuffed some newspaper inside the hat and kind of like twisted it and bent it and then let it sit overnight, and it got hard and it kind of made that like crooked, like a wizard's hat look, kind of like the sorting hat, I guess is kind of what I was going for. That was kind of the witch hat I was going for, and I was pretty proud of that. I like that witch hat. Still hanging up in our living room. It's just like hanging up in there. But that was actually really hard. I thought a witch hat was going to be really easy to make, and it was actually kind of hard. I probably would never do it again, which is why all the other witch hats I have been purchased. But so, all right, so we got that. That's a pretty easy one. I did that. I remember I did that witch costume. That was probably back in 2012. Yes, it was 2012, because I had just gotten the cat that I had before Lydia. You've guys seen my videos and Lydia's in a lot of them. I had a black cat before her, who was named Wednesday, which some of you guys who know me before I started my YouTube channel know about Wednesday. And that was like the first year I had her, so I was like, I have a black cat, I have to do a witch costume. You just had to, you know? Had to. And I had her for about a year, so she was a year old then. But let's see. I think so this is like one piece. It's like a skirt. I don't have a picture of this costume. And probably because the rest of it is in our storage unit. But this like little leather skirt, it was something I bought at a thrift store. I did like a kind of underworld looking vampire one year, and I had like a black trench coat, which I think that's somewhere. I don't know what we did with it, but I don't really have a picture of that costume. So I might have to do it again another year, but it was kind of fun. But I have another vampire costume in here that I'm a little more proud of than that one. So these are from high school. This is an Edward Scissorhands costume I did back in high school, which Crystal put the picture right here. This was probably the first costume that I ever actually made some pretty decent like props for, I guess. If you want to, it's not the first costume I ever made, because I know what the first costume I ever made was, and I'll get to that one. But this was probably the first costume I ever actually made some like props for, and I was super proud of them. They're kind of dinged up now, because I mean, they're really old. I graduated high school in 2006, so if that puts any perspective of how old these are. They still fit. These are really fun, but I did this picture.
Oh, they still fit?
It's from, yeah, they still fit.
Oh, well, and I guess if we find them at a murder scene, we'll know who did it.
Okay. Yeah, I did not do like the full leather suit Edward Scissorhands. Jen was like, I was waiting for the Edward. Yeah, that's my sister. Yes, she knows about the Edward Scissorhands costume. I did not do the full body leather Edward Scissorhands, obviously.
Somebody's asking which one's your favorite.
Oh, that is a really tough question. I think the Swamp Witch costume I did a couple years ago is my favorite, which we'll get to that when it's in here. Because it was probably the most complicated and detailed, makeup-wise, costume-wise, everything. And I think that one's probably my favorite. And we'll get to that one. But yeah, I think because just the amount of work and detail went into it is what made me like it. Sometimes it's really fun when you do a costume that's not based off of a character, like a existing character, when you kind of like make a costume that's just whatever you want to do. Like when I just decided I'm going to do a Swamp Witch, and you can kind of make up your own like backstory for this character, because it can be whatever you want, you know? And so you can kind of just have a ton of fun with it, and I think that's why that one was my favorite. But yeah, this Edward Scissorhands costume, obviously I didn't do the full leather body, because that was really hard, and I think it was too out of my league when I made this costume. So I did the like version of him from the movie, clearly you can see in the picture, that's just the, you know, where he's wearing the clothes over. But I remember I wore this to high school. If anybody out there watching who went to high school with me remembers this. Yeah, I wore it to high school, and I remember being like the only person in school who really wore a Halloween costume that year, because apparently Spirit Week was going on during, like, on Halloween, and so it was like color day instead, and apparently everybody wanted to wear the school colors instead of wear their Halloween costume, which lame. Like, come on, people. Like, it was Halloween. I wasn't gonna wear my school colors. Plus I was like not into school spirit when I was in high school. School spirit was like, it was lame if you were into school spirit. I didn't like pep rallies either. I was that person, you know?
I like pep rallies.
Oh yeah, Jen. Everyone thought you were Freddy Krueger. Yeah, they did. I had some people, like, I remember one time I was walking down the hall and this one guy was like past me. I didn't know who he was. And he was like, hey, Freddy Krueger, it's awesome. And his friend was like, no, that's Edward Scissorhands, you idiot. And I just was like, That was pretty great. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, clearly they look completely different, but yeah, I was super proud of these. They're just made out of foam board. I cut them out and I spray painted them silver. And I think these were just some gloves that, like old gloves that my dad had that he didn't care about wrecking. But yeah, this was fun. I was worried I was going to get in trouble at school for having something that looked like a weapon, but I actually had one of the security guards come up and ask me how I made them. So I didn't get in trouble. But yeah, these were fun. I have fond memories of this because it was like I said, one of the first times I really put some effort into a costume, and I really I was proud of it. So we'll put these back up. Hang them up. The rest of the costume, I have no idea what happened to it. This is pretty much all that's left of the Edward Scissorhands costume. And from the picture that you guys saw, the hair, that was not a wig. I teased my hair and I sprayed it with that black hairspray. That was not fun to wash out.
That's really your hair?
Mm-hmm. That was my hair.
I didn't know that.
So many people asked me if it was a wig, and I was like, no. That's my hair. I teased it. And yeah, that was not a fun shower experience afterward. And I have another costume where I did my hair instead of wearing a wig. And we'll get into that too. And that was also not, it was worth it, but.
You crazy girl.
Yeah. Oh, here's the Swamp Witch. So here we go. Okay. So this is in multiple parts. So this is my favorite one. We were asking what my favorite costume is. Because just like I said, the amount of work that went into this. So this was the headpiece, which you'll see in the picture that Chris puts it up. Oh, you want me to put it right here?
I want you to get out of the frame.
Sorry. So yeah, I just took a headband. I think it was just like a pretty plain headband, and I glued a bunch of moss, and just like these like greenery that I just bought a bunch of stuff at the, Hobby Lobby, and then I had this moss that I kind of made these like moss dreads, and
So you can see where you're showing.
Oh yeah. They got like these moss dreads that I made. So it kind of made it look like I had like these moss dreadlocks in my hair, which was kind of cool. I wanted it to look like, I was a witch that was in the swamp so long that she was becoming part of the swamp was consuming her. Like she was becoming part of the greenery. And then the costume, I bought this like corset on Wish, I think. So it was really cheap. And then I got some,
Your Wish sized.
Yeah, I'm China sized thing. But, and then this was just some like, of that green creepy cloth. Sometimes you can find it. It's like that army green, and I just kind of made like a little vest. I think I just kind of tied it together in the front. It was supposed to not be like super, it was really messy. And then I had this like, this I think I bought on Amazon, and it was a, Lydia's playing with the strings down here. She's trying to catch them. I had this, it was just like kind of a fishnet shirt on Amazon that was brown, and I cut the sleeves. So, because you can see in the picture, they just were like right here. Lydia, no. Oh no, she's stuck. Okay. But yeah, that was the top of the costume, and then the bottom, I think some of it actually is is hanging with my Mrs. Lovett costume, because I used some of it for my Mrs. Lovett costume too. But I pretty much just had this brown skirt that I kind of like cut the bottom off, and then this other green skirt that I bought. I think all of this came from like a thrift store, and I kind of pinned up the front, and just kind of made this little you know, kind of like a steampunk looking, you know, front, but I sewed it up there like that. And I think I sprayed it a little bit with some brown spray paint to make it look dirty. And then I had more fish or more like cheesecloth hanging off of me, and I had bones hanging off of me. I bought a little bones and stuff, which was cool. Let's see. And then
Somebody says that they love that you do photo shoots for your costumes.
Oh yeah, my dad takes all of those pictures. He did do some photography while we were growing up, like on the side. He did weddings and stuff like that. So like he's pretty good at it. And I usually get him to do that for me. And he loves to do it.
You gonna show the staff?
Yeah, I was gonna. And then, so yeah, the other thing I made for this costume was this like witch's staff thing here. Which if you go on my Instagram, you can my Instagram has old pictures of like the process of me making this, because I took progress pictures. This was before YouTube. So I was doing all my progress of like making my costumes and stuff was Instagram. But does it still have the candle in there? It does.
But I don't know if the batteries.
Yeah, it might not light up, but there's like a little LED, like a battery operated candle in here. So like the actual thing, but it's made of a tiki torch, and then a mason jar that I painted. So basically I kind of took apart the tiki torch and stuck the mason jar in there, and then paper mache'd over it, and did a bunch of stuff to kind of make it look. Lydia, no, you can't stand here if you're gonna mess with stuff. And you know, did a lot of painting and things to kind of make it look like bark. And then put, you know, lots of moss on there. I've seen some things lately where people have made stuff and they did that thing where they Lydia's chewing on it. No, this is not a toy. It's not a scratching post. She thinks it's a real tree. Where people took, like, they made mushrooms out of, like, hot glue, and you could stick, like, a little, like, fairy light in there, and they would light up. They would be, like, glowing mushrooms. And I remember seeing that once and being like, oh, that would have been so cool on my staff if I had known about that back when I made the staff. But, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I could just add some mushrooms to this and then, oh yeah, I probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was the same. Maybe I could modify this and add some of the mushrooms to it. Then if I ever want to do this costume again for something, I could have some really cool glowing mushrooms going up it, because I was like, that would have been awesome. But I didn't know about that when I made this. But I was really proud of this staff. It was really cool.
Video.
Yeah.
The process of making. You used, like, was it the plaster of Paris or something? It
was paper mache, and then it was this other stuff. I can't remember what it's called now. I still have it, but it's like it's kind of like an instant paper mache is kind of like what it's called, but it's like this powdery stuff, and you add water to it. But the reason people don't use it very often for paper macheing is because it gets clumpy and it doesn't get smooth. It's almost kind of like oatmeal when you're putting it on stuff. It's hard to get smooth. But that's what I wanted, because I wanted it to look like bark. And so that went on over regular paper mache. And then it was just a lot of painting that made it really look like bark. But yeah, it was like a tiki torch and a mason jar. That's pretty much what this was. It's what the start of it was. But yeah, I could probably do a video and make another one. Be kind of cool, and like make one even cooler than this one, because this was just a, you know, I just was going by the seat of my pants when I was making this. I didn't really know what I was doing.
If we do it again, we should do like something that's not straight. Like maybe give it some curves.
Yeah, make it more crooked. Yeah.
A real.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A little bit of crooked.
Yeah, like this, make the staff part like more crooked. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I tried to put some lumps in it and stuff when I did it, but yeah, that whole Swamp Witch costume, I was really proud of that. I did a lot of my makeup. I had a contact in that made it look like one of my eyes was blind, which a lot of these pictures are on Instagram too, so if you want to look at them, you can browse my Instagram. But yeah, I had like a contact that gave me like a cloudy eye, and it was really creepy. I scared a lot of little kids. I also, will you quit? Why are you being like this? I also had blackened my teeth out, which you couldn't tell in that picture. But I had like that stuff that you put on your teeth that makes them black. And so it was really...
It's horrifying.
Yeah. I like to do costumes where like I'll have a costume one year where I do like a pretty character, because I like being pretty too. But then occasionally it's really fun to do a costume that's just really ugly, you know what I mean? Or really scary. And I wanted the Swamp Witch to be kind of like, you looked at her and were like, she was probably once pretty, but the swamp has turned her very ugly, you know? And that was like, I kind of like came up with this character. It was really fun. I think that was my favorite costume for sure. All right, so this next one. Oh, okay, so this is another high school. I don't really have a picture of this exact costume, but I have a picture of another kind of version of this costume that I did later. Yeah, the zombie. Chris put it up here. So this one was actually the first zombie I ever did, and I did this in high school. And so this one had more of like a jacket. I think I did a similar situation with the, I had like a skirt with it, but I did kind of do the makeup like this picture. This was for something else. That was a zombie walk I did later. Jen, my sister, she went with me for that. That was fun. And then we went to the mall after and got in trouble for messing with the Justin Bieber cutout. I don't know if you remember that, Jen, but the lady at the store ran us out because she was mad. But that's a story. But this one I did in high school. It was like the first. This was definitely the first costume I ever actually made. And this is just a jacket from a thrift store. I could probably still fit in it. But wow, it is like really confusing, this thing. Here we go. It's all torn up. I could still fit in it. I have not grown very much since high school, if you can't tell. But, oh man, this is hot. Why did I ever wear this how did I wear this?
Give me Thriller vibes.
That's what I was going for. Thriller, kind of zombie. So I was going for like a Billy Butcherson
business casual zombie.
Thriller zombie that came out of the grave, you know, it was all dusty, and I just bought this. I bought all the clothes for it at a thrift store, ripped it up.
Monster.
I put cobwebs on it, and I think I even like lightly spray painted bits of it with like white spray paint, so it kind of looked dusty. And I did the same. I had like a skirt. I think I had some pantyhose that I ripped up that were gray, that was gray, that I wore. I teased my hair. I also remember when I went out, I took some like baby powder and kind of like dusted myself with it a little bit before I went out, and then like if people came and bumped into me or touched me, it would just be like poof, and it would like I looked dusty and old, and that was really fun. So that was like the first costume I ever, technically the first one I actually made, and then the Edward Scissorhands one was like pretty soon after that. But so I was pretty proud of that. That was kind of fun. Next we got the Sarah Sanderson costume, which y'all have seen this. Hopefully, if you've watched my videos last October. Because I have videos of how I made this. The corset was a nightmare. It was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but it turned out really good. And then the skirt was really easy. I'm not a sewer, so I tried to do it the easiest way possible without the least amount of sewing. I painted all of the embroidery on, and then, you know, I just had the cape I just bought at the store, on Amazon. It was a pretty good cape. I kind of wish it was a little thicker because it was cold that year. I did not anticipate it being so cold that October. Yeah. There was we went to a trunk or treat, and I was like shivering.
Octobers here in North Alabama are so random.
Yeah, Octobers are very random. They're it's either freezing, or it's hot, or it's just right. But or it's raining. One time it snowed.
It snowed once on Halloween.
It was ridiculous. And so like this year, at least the trunk or treat we went to was freezing, and I was glad I had the robe, but or the cape, but I kind of wished it was a little thicker. But then, you know, if it had been hot, I probably would have been glad that it was thin. But there's another costume in here we'll get to that I planned to make, and it was like 100 degrees on Halloween, and I was miserable. But you know what? That's just what you do, you know? You suffer to wear your costume that you spent all year making. Like, you're gonna wear it. It's like when you're a kid and you wanted to go out trick-or-treating and it was cold and your mom was like, wear your jacket. And you're like, I'm not wearing my jacket. This costume is awesome. Superman did not wear a jacket. You just suffer for the cold because that's what you do. Okay, so here's the one actually that I was just talking about. That when it was 100 degrees on Halloween, I did a werewolf costume, which Chris want to put right there. He's getting it. So I did a werewolf costume. I went through a thing where I was gonna try to do all of the like classic monsters. I did a Dracula, kind of female Dracula looking costume, which is in here. I did a werewolf. I did a Bride of Frankenstein, which is also in here. And I was gonna kind of go down the list. I think I got stuck on like Creature from the Black Lagoon. But which I think like Rachel Maxey has a version of that, which is kind of funny. That kind of was like, oh wow. But so this was pretty standard. I had like, you know, the classic flannel.
It's part of your regular wardrobe now.
It is. So I was gonna rip this up for the costume, but then I actually kind of liked it so much, I was like, I kind of want to keep it. Which it was originally a black and white flannel that I found at a thrift store because I couldn't find a red one, and I just dyed it. Which, if you look up really close, the thread is still white, and the buttons are white. But it's fine. I think it looks cool like that, and I actually just wear it now on stuff. But so I didn't end up ripping it up because I actually kind of liked it and I wanted to wear it. But here's the pants. So I ripped up some jeans and then I got some faux fur and had it coming out the rips. And then I think they're in the bag.
I think those pants turn.
Huh? What?
The hair growing out of it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yes, they are in here. Okay, so these were, I can't put them on, but right, like the ones for my legs, but I bought some socks, like some knee-high socks that were brown, and then I just hot glued some of the fur to it, and then I had it like on my leg, that I wore on my legs, like, you know, you can see in the picture below the knee, like right below the knee where the pants ended. I had this, and then I just wore some Converses. so it looked like I had hairy legs. And I just hot glued it all. I didn't do any sewing. And then I had ones for my arms, which are in here too. I just had like the sleeves rolled up to my elbows, and they still fit. Yeah, it doesn't stretch much because the hair doesn't allow it to stretch. But I just got some like of the, you know, those fancy gloves that like go to your elbows, and just glued hair to them. And I think I kind of even did like a little paw pad on the inside, and then I had like these nails. They were just like acrylic nails that I bought and painted to look kind of dirty and like claws, and I had worn those. But yeah, that was fun. I had like pointed ears and everything, and that was a fun costume, but it ended up being like 100 degrees that Halloween. And I was dying. I was dying at all the fur. But I put up with it. I suffered because I spent a long time making this costume, and I wasn't about to not wear it. I think the day that I wore it for my party, it wasn't that bad, but because I wore it for that Halloween party I had that year. But on actual Halloween, it was really, really hot. And that was kind of not great, not fun. But put this back.
You need the lightsaber too.
Where is it?
It's in the closet right there.
Where?
No, right there.
Right. It's in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the blade,
Yeah.
you meant.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I forgot to get it.
Oh, it's fine. Okay. Let me hang this back up. And we'll get on to the next one. Oh, you know what? But yeah, this shirt usually is in my regular closet because I like to wear it over when I'm in the mood to wear like a 90s aesthetic. I'll wear it. Okay, so this next one we did for when we went to the Boo Bash at Disney a couple years ago. It was our first anniversary, so 2021.
Went back to Disney.
Yeah, this is part of it. The corset is it's right here, but the corset I also used for the Ariel. I did an Ariel costume, a steampunk Ariel costume, which I will show you that here in a minute, but I'll just show you the corset for now. There's so many costumes in here. Yeah, so if you guys haven't been able to tell, we are in the craft room that I usually film stuff in, and this is strictly costume closet. And then like we have another closet over here that Chris's costumes are in, because they won't just fit in our regular closet. We have to have a separate closet for costumes. But anyways, it was just like a pirate costume. I had this kind of peasant blouse. I think I got on Amazon or something. And I had like this little kind of gypsy
That
thing.
might actually be my sash.
Yeah, this sash is yours. Yeah. To get all, and then here's the corset that I wore, which I got this corset for the Ariel costume because it looked kind of piratey, and that's what I was going for. So then I ended up just reusing it for this. And then I got the hat there. At the Pirates of the Caribbean gift shop.
We got there that you had all the parts except for a pirate hat.
Yeah. Because we looked for a pirate hat before we left, but there weren't any good ones at like Spirit Halloween or whatever. They all looked like crap. Or at least the girl ones looked like crap. I
feel like even at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, that hat was one of the only ones that was like kind of for real, because they sold
Yeah.
hats for men, but they literally said Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, they had the logo on.
Lame, and that's why I didn't buy one
Right.
for myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want a
When it
pirate
says like
that's
Pirates of the Caribbean on it, yeah.
on it. No.
Right. But yeah, and that one actually matched my costume like perfectly too. And then I just had some like black like pleather leggings on, and then some boots, and that's pretty much all. It was like a quick make put together costume. I almost did a Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
We were
for some reason.
concerned about the cape.
Oh yeah, because there was
They
like
had a cape
there was
policy.
there's a guidelines about how long your cape could be, and like they couldn't be long. It could only be like to your waist or something like that. You could only have like a short cape, which I was like, well, dang it. So I scrapped that idea. But then when we got there was millions of people with capes that were dragging around, and nobody was saying anything. So I was like,
There.
fine. So whatever. But it was okay because there was like a ton of Scarlet Witches there, and so I was kind of glad I didn't do that. Because there was a bunch of them that year already, because the WandaVision had come out that year, and it was kind of fun riding Pirates of the Caribbean, dressed like a pirate. So
Yeah,
that was
I
fun.
remember That night after the party, the time just went by so quick.
Oh yeah, I know. It was because it was so fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. Like,
So if you get a chance to ever go to Disney and go to the Halloween party, it's totally worth it. It's expensive, but it was worth it.
we had a really great travel agent that got us tickets.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And then speaking of Disney, I have this is just the vest. I think the shirt is probably in my other closet, but I did like kind of a Star Wars, costume. It was like a Disney bound, really, when we were at Galaxy's Edge. But it was pretty simple, just a bunch of clothes that kind of looked Star Warsy, and then I had this vest. Oh, and then you want me to? Okay. It's almost, my hair is almost kind of similar. And then I made the lightsaber. So. So I did the actual like, making the lightsaber there at Galaxy's Edge, which was really fun. I did a purple one.
It's kind of hard to tell in the video, but it's purple.
Yeah, it's purple. But yeah, that was really fun. So that was kind of like a Disney bound. I did a lot of Disney bounding when we were there. I had like an outfit for each day.
You're very Carrie Fisher sized.
Yeah. Yeah, I am, I guess. But yeah, that was fun. So that's kind of a costume. But here we have the Dracula, kind of female Dracula costume I did. This is another one I'm pretty proud of. I probably would have said this was my favorite one if I hadn't done the Swamp Witch, because I think before the Swamp Witch, this was probably my favorite. The corset, I think I got at Hot Topic a long time ago, and I used this corset for the Witch too. I think I used it for the Witch first.
Got it from Hot Topic when Hot Topic was still for goths.
Yeah, when Hot Topic was still for goths, and it was like on sale, so, like real cheap. It was like $40, which is like really cheap for a Hot Topic corset. And I was like, heck yeah! So I got it. And then the skirt came from a thrift store. It ended up like matching. It's hard to see on camera, really. There's like some lace right here that ended up kind of matching the lace kind of design on the corset perfectly. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this skirt. And then I had like red or dark red that kind of went like the same color as this tights. And then I just had some like boots or whatever, but and then I had this little cross thing. I think in the picture it's a different one because one of my friends let me borrow one that I think like somebody gave her that she didn't like. She thought it was kind of ugly. And she was like, oh, I have the perfect ugly thing you could wear. And I was like, okay. And but then I gave it back to her. So I think this one is from Party City. I got this one later when I wore it again because I ended up, I've worn this vampire costume a lot. It's a good classic costume when you need a costume and for like a party or something real quick. And like I think that year it was like somebody was having a party and I had gotten off work and I didn't want to, I think it was the same year that I technically had done the Swamp Witch for Halloween, and I didn't want to put on the whole Swamp Witch costume and do all the makeup, and because it took a really long time and I didn't have time after work, so I was like, I'm just gonna put the vampire costume on because it's easy. And then yeah, I had like red contacts, and then this, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a cape or not with it. And so what I ended up going with was I bought this, it was just like a suit jacket at the thrift store. It was like it had like a weird, you know, way of close. I don't think I didn't close it when I wear it. I don't have it like buttoned, I don't think. But it was just a long, regular like suit jacket, woman's suit jacket that had kind of some puffy sleeves, which is why I got it. And it was like a short sleeve. And I got these. These are actually like tights for your legs. And I cut them in half and used them instead of sleeves. And we sewed them inside the... Yeah, I sewed it inside there to make sleeves. And then I cut the collar, which I don't know if you can see it, but we like the collar laid down, you know, like a suit collar does. And I like cut it up and kind of like made it stick up like this and re-sewed it kind of to make it kind of give like a vampire popped. But it just kind of buttons right here. But I think I left it open because so you could see like the corset underneath. But that was my like instead of a cape, I did this instead. But yeah, I really liked that. That's like it's a good. I love my vampire costume. It's a good go-to if I need a quick Halloween costume for something, and it's classic. You know, vampire costume's classic, and I still have the teeth. I use the Scarecrow brand vampire teeth. If you're ever looking for vampire teeth that look pretty realistic and aren't a pain in the butt to wear and are not super expensive either. Scarecrow brand is actually pretty decently priced. You can get them on like Amazon. I think I found mine at Hot Topic that same year. But they like, you mold them to your teeth. You just like hold them there for like 5 minutes to shape to your teeth, and you can just snap them in and out. And you can't eat with them in, but you can drink with them in. Just don't drink any actual red liquids because they'll stain. I found that out, which makes no sense to me. Seems like a flaw in the product. But
you put vampire teeth, of course you're gonna drink red liquid.
Yeah. And so they stained a little pink since then, and I have I've kind of got them unstained just a little bit by soaking them in hydrogen peroxide, but I probably should just buy some more and redo it. But they are really comfortable vampire teeth. They don't give you a lisp either. They look really well. I don't know. This video isn't sponsored by them or anything, but I can't recommend them enough. Those are like the best vampire fangs I've ever used, and I reused them again for the werewolf when I did that. So, no, you're messing with stuff. Now stop it. Why are you being like this? Quit. I'm gonna have to kick you out of this room. Okay. Okay, so here's the Mrs. Lovett costume. Somebody texted me. Oh. So here's the Mrs. Lovett costume. I have videos about this too on my channel. This was like the first costume videos I did. I just had this corset, which I bought. I think this was also on Wish, which, I mean, Wish is a pretty good place for costumes, or for corsets especially. So you don't have to pay a whole lot for them, and they're pretty decent quality. It's just you kind of have to size up if you're not me. But this is so this is what I also used for the Swamp Witch, and it was just, I also got this on Wish, and it was like it's like a little, if you guys can see it. Back up. It's like a bustle. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it just ties around. But it's just like a little, Lydia, no. God, it's getting stuck on it. But it's like a little bustle that just ties around your back. And I used this for the Swamp Witch too. So I had this on the outside because it looked very Swamp Witchy. But then I ended up using it also for the Mrs. Ludwig costume because it went really well. And that's another thing I love when I think about a lot when I'm buying costume pieces is, can I use that for something else? Because if I can, then it's worth the buy. But I mean, even then, like thrift store is a great place to go. And then I had the blouse that was, it's kind of this ugly looking blouse that I dyed to make it a little bit grayer. And then I sewed the, the lace to it. And then the skirt under was just, oh yeah, I had this little, undershirt thing that I sewed that like tulle to, so it was under the corset because she has that. And then this red dress is just kind of like a steampunk dress that I think I just got on Amazon. And then I had like striped leggings on and boots or whatever. And then I had some fingerless gloves that I think I also got on Amazon. But it was a pretty easy costume overall. And like I said, I have two videos on that. It's like how I did the blouse, because that was the one thing I had to alter. And then the other thing is just like the hair and makeup, I think, video. But yeah, there's videos on that. Pretty easy. Mrs. Lovett. It's fun costume to do. Here's the steampunk Ariel costume I did, which also has a like prop with it. So the corset that you can see in the picture, the corset that I had for the pirate, I used for this costume first. But basically, I have these, which these are like really faded now, but they're like mermaid scale leggings that I wore. I tried to find the color that it looks kind of blue on here, but they're more like greenish, that looked like her fin, her tail fin. And then the shirt I bought, where did I get this? Was it Amazon? It might have been Amazon or Walmart or something.
We dyed it though, didn't we?
Yeah, and so it was white. And I dyed it to be that purple, which on screen it looks really light, but it was that lavender purple that imitated her seashells. And so that's kind of why I picked this shirt, because it has like this ruching here that looks a lot like her seashells. And then especially when I had the corset on, it really looked like her seashells. And then I made this little, the Ursula's, thing. I thought it would be kind of cool if she was wearing that. I think I just made it out of air dry clay.
Crayola Model Magic?
No, it wasn't Model Magic. It was actually air dry clay because I wanted it to be hard. And then I just painted it with some gold. And then stuck a hook in it or whatever and put some, it was really quick. And then, this was like a little pouch I have in the picture that was like right here. I think I just used it to like hold my phone. It was like a steampunk looking pouch. I think I probably got that on Amazon too. And then here's just some fisherman's net that I bought, I think at Hobby Lobby, and I just tied it around my waist, kind of like a sash. And I had some like little starfish that I think I glued some safety pins to. And I had a starfish on my corset also. And I had like some steampunk goggles, and I had the wig. And then I made this trident for it, which I'm actually pretty proud of, because I have trouble making things out of that to look like metal. I think I did a pretty good job. If you look up really close, you can tell it's not. That it is paper mache, but this was just a copper pipe that I think Chris's dad had, that he had lying around. And then the top, I used foam board to make the shape. And then I bulked it up, I guess with some like paper and stuff. And then I paper mache, or no, I bulked it up with duct tape. So I bulked it up with duct tape, and then I went over and paper mached it over it to kind of and gave it these like little edges here. There's kind of like a little edge, and then I used some foam and made, you can see a little fork right there, and then on the back I did it too. There's like 2 forks right here. And then this one kind of like wraps around the handle a little bit, because I wanted to incorporate the dingle hoppers in there, because you know it's Ariel. And the little gauge here, it doesn't actually work. It's but I made it by like you know those, when you have like a sliding door, like a sliding closet door or something, and you have like those little things that act instead of the doorknob, so you can like
grip.
Yeah, it's like a little grip that you use to like open and close the sliding door. That's basically what this is. I bought it at Home Depot, and then I printed out a gauge, just a picture of a gauge to fit in there, and then I poured resin in it and let the resin sit, and that's pretty much. So it looks like a gauge, but it's not really. It doesn't work. It's just a picture, but it looks cool. And then we have this tubing. It was the tubing we bought at Home Depot, and then we fed a little lighted wire in there. I think it still turns on. No, the batteries are out? Okay. Well, it lights up and it looks really cool. It's just got like this aqua blue color, but
it's an EL wire.
Yeah, it's like EL wire, yeah. And then like, I just gave everything a copper painting with patina, so it all kind of looked rusted, and like the sea air had gotten it, and then like oh shoot, hitting the fan. The bottom is where the little battery pack is, and I kind of painted over that too to kind of match, but it's at the very bottom so I can turn the lights on. But yeah, I was pretty proud of this. I'm not very good at making things look like metal. It's really hard for me. I'm a lot better at like the Swamp Witch staff when it's organic, because then it doesn't have to look perfect. It can be kind of it can be imperfect, and you can mess up and you can kind of fix it. But like things like this, like metal that is like industrial or something like that, if it doesn't look straight, it ruins the effect. You know what I mean? So that's hard. I was very intimidated by this, but I think I did a pretty good job. I think it looks really cool. I liked it. It turned out neat. This was another prop that I did for a costume that I'm pretty proud of. And then we got, this wasn't really a costume I made, but I had a friend who had back in 2020, it was a New Year's Eve party for 2020, So it was a Roaring Twenties theme, and it was really fun. And I just bought this flapper dress. So I didn't really make this or anything, but it was still really fun. I think I also got this on Wish, actually. But and it's pretty good, pretty decent quality. But that was really fun. And Chris did a Charlie Chaplin looking costume. And that was fun. That was a really fun party. We had no idea the year to come that it was going to come, but it was still a really fun party. And then next we have a Bride of Frankenstein, which I think I really only have the skirt in here, which you'll see in the picture Chris will put right here. The corset is the same one that I used for the vampire and for the witch. So again, reusing stuff. And then I just had some white fishnet underneath. I don't know what that was. I had white fishnet underneath, and then just some like cool, I think they were just like black and white striped gloves or something. But the skirt I made, it was just like a tulle skirt, which if you ever done that, you just get elastic or whatever. I think I used ribbon, and you just get strips of tulle and you just tie them all the way around to make kind of like a tutu. This was a little longer than a tutu. I think it went to my knees, which I know it looks really short here, but I'm short. So, and when it's actually laying flat. But I used a ribbon, and then I even went over the top, like I laid another ribbon over the top and kind of folded it over and sewed it. And then in the back, it's just got like a little bow. But it's mostly white, and then I think every once in a while I added a black one in there. But I kind of wanted it to look like a wedding dress looking type of thing. I did not do a traditional Bride of Frankenstein, clearly. It was kind of a punk rocker Bride of Frankenstein. It was fun. But that was another costume that I did not use a wig. I used my hair. I used two those little hair donuts. I had a big one and a little one.
Bump it?
No, not a bump it. It was the donuts that you use to make kind of like a donut bun in your hair. But I basically like fed a ponytail through the hair donuts that I had two stacked on top of each other, and then like pinned that over, and then I used took the rest of my hair and just bobby pinned it all over it, and then except for two side pieces, and I sprayed it with that colored hairspray black, and then I took those side pieces and sprayed them white, and then I bobby pinned them in like the crooked shape going up. And it was totally worth not having a wig and using my real hair, because it looked really cool, and a lot of people were like, "Is that your real hair?" And my hair was really long, so I was able to get that Bride of Frankenstein kind of thing, and it was really cool, and I had so much hairspray in my hair that it stayed put. But again, the shower that night was pretty rough. I remember taking all of the bobby pins out and taking the hair donuts out, and my hair was still standing up. Like, it was kind of out like this, but it was still standing straight up because of all the hairspray. And then in the shower, it's just like black, rinsing off.
Ew.
Yeah. But it was worth it for the effect and the fact that people were like, "Wow, that was your own hair." I think I only wore it once that year for I think it was my sister's party she had in Nashville. And then I don't think wore it on actual Halloween. I think I did something else because I was like, I don't feel like doing my hair like that again. It was a lot of effort, but it was cool. And I have it, and if I ever want to do Bride of Frankenstein again, I can just get a wig this time if I want to, but it took forever too to get my hair done. It took like an hour or something like that. There's some dedication. Oh, shoot. Well,
Did you break?
it broke.
Oh,
We'll fix it. We'll fix that later. Okay. All right, so this next one, has some explanation. So,
yeah.
So I'm a part of a writers club, because I write and I have a lot of friends that also do some writing, and we get together like once a week and you know, do writing exercises and help each other out and stuff. And one year, the day of the week that we usually meet for Writers Club fell on Halloween. So like Halloween was on the day of the week that Writers Club was. And so we decided, like, let's do a Writers Club Halloween party. And I was like, you know what we should do? We should all dress up do costumes of the characters that we wrote, like characters that we created. So this is a character from the book that I wrote, Bloodland. So if you guys have watched any of my videos, or if you've made it to the end of my videos and watched, you know I have 2 books on Amazon that I wrote. One that's a zombie romance and one that is a vampire adventure story, and that one is Bloodland is what it's called. And this was the character from that. So her name is Nora, and it was at the end of the book, which I don't really want to spoil too much, but I mean, I guess the picture will kind of spoil it. Chris will put it here.
Oh.
Chris is not paying attention.
Got so scared.
But this was like at the end of the book. There's like a kind of an in battle that happens between the good guys and the bad guys, vampires or whatever. And one of the main characters, she's got this like bloody, this dress that ends up getting all bloodied up from like the fight, and lots of things are happening. And so that's what this is. And then she has like auburn hair. So I had a wig that was like an auburn colored wig, and I know in the picture it looks more brown, but it was like a reddish brown.
That was your real hair when I saw you wearing that costume.
It was a pretty good wig. I got it online. I don't remember where I got it, but it was a pretty decent wig. I was actually really shocked. It wasn't shiny. I didn't have to do anything to it to fix it. It was actually a pretty good wig. But that's what this was. I just ripped up a white dress that I found, I think either at the thrift store or I bought really cheap on Amazon, and I sprayed it with a bunch of fake blood, which fake blood is freezing cold. Like if you've ever I don't know, it's cold though. Like I think I did most of this, like the big squirts of blood, like all when I wasn't wearing it. But then when I put it on for the party, I did put some extra blood on me so that it was on my skin too, you know, in where the rips were, and on my hands and like you know, on my neck and stuff, because it's supposed to look like I killed some people, because that's kind of what happens. But fake blood is cold. It's cold. I don't know why it's so cold, but it is. But
you have your vampire teeth in that picture.
Yeah, I do. Which that was a fun costume too. There was I think these pictures are on Instagram, but the makeup I did too had like, I kind of had like these like cool veins coming from my eyes, like down my cheeks or whatever, because that's kind of the way the vampires look. It's a virus that's infecting them. They're not dead like a vampire we would think of as dead. They have a virus. So like the vampires in my book have like these like veins kind of faintly like all over them that, you know, and so I did some of that, and it was kind of fun makeup. But that's what this is. So that was kind of fun, because it was kind of fun to be able to do a costume based off of a character that I created, that I wrote.
Could one read your book if they wanted? To read about.
They are on Amazon. So if I usually link to them in my video. I can put them in the description here too, my author page on Amazon. But if you search them, you can search J.R. Lawson, which is my maiden name. That's what my author name is. And they will usually pop up, but I can link to them if you want to read it. But that's what that's from. So that was fun. We're almost done here. We got, let's see, this one keeps falling.
The hour mark.
Oh, really? Here's it was funny because this one is right next to the Lydia costume.
I did that on purpose.
You did? So I had a female Beetlejuice costume here. I don't know. I think the skirt. Oh, here it is. Here's the skirt. Okay. So I did a gender-bended female Beetlejuice one year, which Chris, I put it in there.
Oh, here it is. Okay. I was looking for B.
Oh, did I put?
You put female.
Oh, I started it with
Starts
okay.
An F, so it's out of alphabetical order.
Female Beetlejuice, Beetle Babe,
Beetle Boss.
Betty Juice, whatever you want to say. I know there's a bunch of different, but this one was really fun. I kind of combined the Beetlejuice from the movie with the Beetlejuice from the cartoon. So if you ever watched the cartoon, he has a red shirt in the cartoon. So I did the red shirt. And then this was, again, a suit jacket that I got at the thrift store. And I painted these freaking stripes on. And let me tell you,
You monster.
it was a pain in the butt. But that's probably because I'm a perfectionist and I was really obsessed with them being very, looking really good. Especially in the back. When you get to the back, it was really hard to make sure it was even and stuff, and where the spacing was, and I just used some painter's tape and mapped out where the stripes went, and then I painted it white on the black coat because I wanted a white one, but it's not the 70s anymore, so it's hard to find a white suit jacket. So I just painted white on there, and I just used I think I used fabric paint, but turned out pretty good. I think especially in the dark you couldn't tell that the stripes weren't perfect. I did have to, I think, go over them with black paint because there was some places where it, bled through the tape, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie, painting the stripes on this, but it was totally worth it because any striped jacket they had some striped jackets like this at Forever 21, but they were expensive, and I didn't want to have to ruin it, because if you look up really close, some of the spots, there's hot glue spots on here because I had bugs glued to the jacket. They've all fallen off, but I had hot glued a bunch of fake roaches and fake bugs and beetles to the jacket. So that's why there's hot glue. And then I had another tulle tutu this time. It was more like a tutu. It was just made from elastic or whatever, and I had that underneath, and then on top of that I had a skirt, which I think this came with the suit jacket too. Yeah, it feels like the same material. And I cut it into strips. I also striped it, and I cut it into strips so that it would kind of flare over the tutu better. And then I had striped stockings in the picture and just some boots, and I think I had some fishnet gloves, and then I painted my nails red because again I was kind of going for a mix between the cartoon version and the movie version. And in the cartoon he's got red tips on his fingers, so I was going for that effect or whatever, so I just painted my nails red. But I did the makeup the Beetlejuice makeup was more close to the movie Beetlejuice. So I had like the green kind of mold around my hairline, and I sprayed my hair. I think I sprayed it with the white. I dusted it kind of with the white hairspray, and then I did some green too. But that was really fun costume, actually, doing a female Beetlejuice. There was a lot of face paint that was really fun to do. But yeah, I've always wanted to kind of do that, a gender-bended Beetlejuice, but I hadn't done it yet until that year, so that was really fun. Actually, I remember going to like a party, and I had actually some people were coming up and slapping me throughout the night because they thought the bugs were real. So they were like, because they thought there was a bug on me, and they're like, ah, and they would smack me, and they were like, oh, it's fake. And I was like, yeah. And
it's Halloween.
Yeah. I also had printed out little like business cards that looked like, you know, the poster from the movie. This is like Beetlejuice, and it has, well, I guess this says Beetlegeist on it, and it has the beetle on it. You know, it says Bioexorcist or whatever. It's the poster in the movie that they find. The
beetle?
Yeah. That the Maitlands find like folded up in the book. And I made them into like a little business card size, and I had them printed, and I had them in the pocket of the of the jacket, and I was like handing them out throughout the night. So it was really fun. A lot of people got a kick out of that, I think. So that was fun. And right next to it is a Lydia costume I did a couple years ago, which this was, I pretty much just found stuff in my closet and put it together. I think the only thing I bought was the hat and the wig. I had to buy a wig because I was not got to cut my own hair bangs like that. But basically it was just a plain black skirt that I had in my closet. And then I had this black blouse that I already had in my closet. And then I had like a black cardigan over it. But that cardigan is still in my closet because I actually still wear it. This stuff I don't really wear anymore, but yeah, I remember just like that year looking through my closet and being like, oh, you know what? I have everything I need for a Lydia costume except for the wig and the at least the regular Lydia costume, not the, you know, bride Lydia. And then this hat is kind of warped since, but it's just a sun hat. I think I found it on Amazon. I just looked up black sun hat on Amazon and bought it. It's pretty cheap. Easy. And then I made the handbook for the recently deceased. I think I just bought a book from the thrift store that was about the right size and was already like a brown cover, and I just Mod Podged, you know, the cover. I printed it out on the computer and Mod Podged it on there. Done. That was a year that I was kind of trying to save money. I did not have a Halloween party that year either. And so did a pretty quick makeshift Lydia costume, but I think it would be fun one year to do the actual bride Lydia costume, but we'll see about that maybe. But that was fun. And then we have this. Okay, so this was a really fast, another really quick costume that I came up with. Oh, that's just like stuff for it's just the Lydia costume stuff. I have a friend who had a birthday party that was Batman themed because he really likes Batman, and so it was like, you know, they wanted people to dress up as their favorite Batman character, so I had to come up with something really fast, and I did a Harley Quinn, which if you want to put, and it was like super quick makeshift Harley Quinn costume. And I didn't really go by any kind of certain specific Harley Quinn. I just kind of made up something real quick. But I got this red just racerback tank top. And I think I originally got some black dye and I like dipped half of it in the black dye, and it wasn't completely perfectly lined. It was kind of grungy looking, which I guess was fine. But I think I kind of went in with some fabric paint and kind of actually tidied it up a little, and then I did some red fabric paint over the side that was kind of got messed up, but it was okay because I wanted it to look grungy, so you really couldn't mess it up, and you can see like on the back was kind of like not perfect either, but it was fine. It's one of those that ends up like working in your favor. But and then I, you know, with fabric paint also like painted some little things on there. Oh, I did red on the other side. There we go. Right there. And I just ripped some holes in it, you know, like it just made it look really grungy and dirty and like we've been robbing a bank in it or whatever. And then I just got some like little boy shorts at the store. I don't know where I got them, probably Walmart or Party City or something. And then I got some red fishnets also at Party City, and I kind of ripped some holes in them. I wore them under the shorts, and then I think I just had my black Converses, and then I did 2 ponytails in my hair, and used the colored hairspray again I sprayed the tips, you know, one side was red, one side was black. So I just kind of took a bunch of Harley Quinns that I liked and kind of combined them together and did something just as easy and as quick as I possibly could that would look the most effective. You would know who I was. You know, I did the makeup. I did like red eyeshadow and stuff on one side, black on the other eye. I did kind of really messy lipstick. I guess it's kind of hard to tell from the picture, but my lipstick was smeared. I don't know how to get that back on there. This is frustrating. And then I took a bat that I actually also bought at Party City. I think it was like a Spider-Man bat. And I just pulled the graphic off of it because it was already red. And I just used some duct tape, some colored duct tape, and wrapped it around. I used like white and black and just kind of wrapped it around in places. Made it look like it was like there was a handle wrapped up, and then I wrote things on there, like wrote some kind of looking graffiti. I sprayed it with some spray paint, some like black in spots, some red in spots, to look like, you know, I'd been bashing some skulls. And that was my Harley Quinn. I just had that for my prop. But I think I want to do like a proper Harley Quinn one year, like a really actually, you know, more detailed one I would like to do.
Lori?
Oh, thank you, Lori. Yeah, I would love to. If I ever do the Lydia wedding dress, I will definitely make a video out of that. And anyways, well, Chris will have to do a Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
You could do the wedding Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Or the bus driver one. That's a good one too.
Oh yeah, the tour guide Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
The car salesman.
Or the car salesman Beetlejuice. Yeah, there's a lot of Beetlejuice costumes you can do.
Beetlejuice costume opportunities.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely. If I do the Lydia wedding dress, then definitely I'll make a video out of that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty appropriate considering we got married on Halloween. It would be kind of an appropriate costume for me to do, honestly. But yeah, I would like to do a more proper Harley Quinn. That you know, is a little more detailed, has some more details. I would like to make her giant mallet like the big one that's like so oversized it looks ridiculous with me, especially because I'm short. Yeah, that I would love to do that, like an actual more detailed Harley Quinn. But this was a good, quick Harley Quinn. So if you're ever in a bind and you need a costume really fast, maybe that helps some of y'all out there have an idea. But aw, yeah, I know, Jen. Right? There's a lot of these costumes I forgot about. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it in here. All that's left in here is like, I have this old, we got some cheesecloth in here. I got this old, oh man, this is like from a vampire costume I wore when I was a kid. I did a vampire costume when I was a little kid. It was one of the costumes I wanted to do when I was a child. And this was the game from that. I think I got it from my mom when, I guess, it was a little before she moved out of like kind of one of our childhood homes. I went through all the Halloween. We had the Halloween box in the, I guess, the attic or the study, wherever we had it. And I went through it and got some stuff out of it. Like I have my old, my Halloween bucket, my trick-or-treat bucket that I got, and then this was...
I think I had that exact same cake.
This was in there.
When I was a kid too.
It's got some pronounced shoulders, which imagine a even smaller me wearing this with the extreme shoulders. But I don't even think, I didn't even like wear a wig that year either, so I just had my regular hair because I didn't want to wear a wig when I was a kid. Wigs are uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're uncomfortable. And so I just had like my 90s hair that went to my chin with the bangs. It was like a night.
One of the plastic vampire.
Oh yeah, the plastic vampire teeth.
The ones that cut your gums.
Yes, that were super uncomfortable and you could not talk in. Yeah, Yep. But so it was like 90s Dracula, little girl Dracula. But that was the kind of the stuff that I was when I was a kid. I did a witch, I did a vampire, I did a devil. I don't think I ever did a Disney princess or any kind of princess costume. I think honestly the steampunk Ariel that I did was the first time I ever did a Disney princess costume. And it even then wasn't completely super princessy. I still steampunked it. Not that I'm saying, it's bad to be a Disney princess. It's fine. That just wasn't my thing when I was little. I wanted to be spooky. Halloween was being spooky. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much all that's in there.
You you gotta grab one more costume out of there. It's not a Halloween costume though, but you gotta grab the flight suits from Space Camp.
Oh, from Space Camp? Yeah, it is in here. So both of them are in here.
Yeah.
Yours and mine.
And you totally fit in mine.
I know. I'm not putting it on. We're not doing that. But well, I've got a skirt on. I'm not putting it on. If I had pants on, then maybe. But yeah, we've got our old Space Camp shirts in here. So for
those who don't know, we live in Huntsville.
We live in Huntsville, Alabama. So when we were kids, 4th grade, I think, or was it
grade.
fifth? Space Camp was like new, and
new,
it was pretty new. Still, they were trying to create a buzz, and so like our classes a lot of schools got to go for free for like a week, and we were one of them. And I know the flight suits don't look like this anymore. They are like a dark blue.
Yeah, I think they changed them. These were like OG space shuttle.
Yeah. But
flight suits.
Our old Space Camp flight suits are in here. Super nostalgic. I don't think I could fit in mine anymore because mine was already mine was already small for a small person. But yeah, I could fit into Chris's, which is funny. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got the Billy head sitting over here. All of Chris's costumes are in the other, which most of them complement mine.
Yeah.
So, and you can see a lot of his on my Instagram because in the photo shoots where we did costumes together, we were both in the photo shoots. But yeah, I hope this was fun for you guys. I hope it was kind of fun. It was fun for me, kind of going down memory lane, looking at a lot of these costumes. Here, I'm gonna close this door. This little puss keeps messing with stuff. But yeah, going down memory lane has been kind of fun. A lot of these costumes I hadn't seen in a really long time, like the high school ones and stuff. So it was really fun to kind of look back on, and you know, like look back on my progress of costumes, because you know, the early ones, you know, are pretty easy, rudimentary, standard. And, you know, I worked my way and got more and more complicated with costumes as I went. So, and I keep trying to do something new every time as much as I can, and, you know, push my limits and try to do new things and learn new stuff. And it's really fun. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching the live stream. It was really fun. You know, I would love to do more live streams. I think I definitely might do closer to Labor Day when we decorate our apartment. I might do one where we kind of unbox all of our decorations, and I can show you guys like all of the decorations that we have that we put up. We do have a decorating video from a couple years ago, which you guys can watch, where we decorate the apartment, but it might be kind of fun to like dig through all of the individual decorations that I have. And then I definitely want to do one live stream where we carve some pumpkins, but that will probably be in October, like in actual October when we carve pumpkins. And we can just chat and carve pumpkins, so that might be fun. But yeah, anyways, that was, I had fun. Hope you guys did too. Hope you guys got some ideas. If you guys have any questions for me about like, you know, costuming questions or anything like that, you guys can always message me on Instagram or any of my social media stuff where you can message me. I don't mind answering some questions, and, you know, stuff like that. And I love sharing my costume making with you guys too. That's always fun. And again, check out my Instagram for a lot of these costumes that I didn't have YouTube videos for because it was before YouTube when I did them, but yeah, before my YouTube. And they, but there's progress pictures there because that was how I shared my process with people before I had a YouTube. But yeah, other than that, I always leave my social media stuff in the description of my videos, and you know, you can check out my Etsy shop, buy some stuff. I know around now is when I'm starting to get orders for Halloween, so you know, the earlier the better. You want to put orders in for Halloween props and things, you guys can check that out too. And I'll have probably the next video I come out with will be another towards working on props for our video game Halloween party. I'm gonna do another. I need to start working on some more stuff for that, so that will be another video. I'll also sprinkle in some more like just standard Halloween videos in there too, because I have some other things I want to update. I have some Halloween decorations that I want to update, so I'll probably make some videos of that too. But yeah, other than that, that's it, I guess, you guys. So I hope you had fun, and I know I did, and just stay spooky, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.